Hello and welcome back to my channel, The Little Sewing Room. My name is Chris and it's nice to see you back again today. If you're one of my subscribers, thank you very much, it is very appreciated. And if you're new to my channel, I hope you like what you see. And if you do, please like and subscribe. I'm new to this, I've only made a couple of vlogs, perhaps 6 at the most. And it's really out of my comfort zone, but I'm slowly getting there and I hope you like what you see. In my last vlog I was just talking about what I bought at the Stitch show at the NEC, and that I'd not been very well. So I'm doing this vlog back to back with that one. So don't think that I haven't got anything else to wear. This top, by the way, is the Megan Nielsen Jarrah top, and I made this originally just over a year ago, and I've had to take it in because I'd lost weight. So I do like it, and it does fit a lot better now I've altered it. But we are going on holiday at the end of May, and I don't very often wear dresses, but for my holidays I thought I'm going to make some dresses. So I also said in my last vlog that I wanted to make a bias cut skirt. So the first thing that I did is make the skirt. I made it in this lovely red satin, and the pattern I used was a free pattern from Mood Society, and I've done it with French seams, but instead of I did do it with the big waistband on, and it just didn't sit right. I didn't feel right in it. So what I've actually done, I had a skirt some years ago that was made like this. It's got picot elastic on, so it doesn't make it bulky, and it's perhaps midi length. And I did unstitch the hem rather than machine stitch it. So that's the first time I've ever made a bias cut skirt. I have got some photographs which will be put on here or here, wherever I can get them. And because I made that, I thought, well, I'd like a nice white t-shirt that will go with it. But I didn't want one that you'd have to tuck in, and because I'm quite short on the upper body, I thought that I'd make a cropped t-shirt, which when I say it, I'm thinking at your age, but I actually made it in this white cotton. This is the Classic Core boxy tee. And as you can see, it is cropped. It's a lovely cotton. Put a nice little label in. And it's just right, because when I try the skirt on and wear this on top, it's just enough that it covers where it sits on the waist, but I don't have to tuck it in, so it don't make it look bulky. I thought with the satin being so lightweight, tucking a t-shirt into it wouldn't look right. So I thought if I make a cropped t-shirt, that should make it look all right. So that was the first couple of things that I made in in April. So they're the two free patterns that I did. Then many years ago, when I was thinner, I'm about the same now as I was then. My son got married. It's about 17 years ago. Yeah, it is 17 years ago. And I lost weight, and when he got married, when he went on his honeymoon, we took him down to Heathrow for his flight, and we stayed at the Sheraton Hotel. And I'd bought a top from Next, which I absolutely loved, and I'd got a pair of white linen trousers. Now, this is the top from Next, and I've only ever wore it that once because I put weight on and I forgot all about it. So, but I kept it because it was one of them things that I really liked. So it's crossover front with an empire line on the front, and then on the back it's just plain V-neck. Now, I really like this, and I wore it with a pair of white linen trousers, and it did look really nice. And I've always thought, you know, I wish I could wear that top. Well, I can now. Tried it on and it fits, so I'm quite chuffed with that. And I thought, well, I'd like to make one. So I used this as a pattern, and I took all the measurements, and it doesn't look exactly the same, but I bought this fabric. This is my wearable toil, whatever you call it. I can never say it. You must excuse my pronunciations of things. But I sat and worked out the pattern. Cut the pattern out, cut the fabric out. It does have a sip in the side seam that's fitted in upside down, so it sips from the bottom up to the top, and it's lined. So I thought, right, I'll have a go at that. So this is my version. The only thing is I think there's too many gathers for the strap to go in. So I think the next time I will probably cut the front part smaller at the top, grade it more, and put the sleeve in, or the arm sink side a bit bigger, so that I can not have so many gathers at the front. It does fit, it does look nice on, and I'm quite chuffed with that, because I've never ever used a garment to make something. I've always used a pattern, and it's also made me think about making a block for my measurements, so that I've got something to work with. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. And as I say, still got it. 17 years I've kept that. I don't know why, because I haven't got anything green or yellow. It does look nice with a pair of jeans, but I thought I'd do it in this cotton that's got different blues and things, so that could go with jeans. So I was quite chuffed with that. We'll have another go, and like I say, we'll try and make it so that when it gathers into the sleeve, into the straps at the top, that it's not so bulky. like that the straps aren't the really narrow thin things, because I mean I want one that's going to cover my bra straps, not show everything up. Then I decided I'd seen her as I was looking through the internet one day on Pinterest. I get quite a few ideas off Pinterest. I saw a pattern, a dress advertised, and when I looked at it, it was a pattern, and it was this one. It's the Simple Sew Amelia tea dress. I must say as well, you must excuse my nails. I have had gel nails on, and I had an accident because the dogs sit on the settee. We've got covers on to keep the settee, because it's a leather settee, from getting scratched, and I was tucking it in and it ripped my little nail off, as you can see. So I've had them took off, so all my nails are all different lengths. So I am sorry that you've got to see those things. So yeah, this is the Amelia tea dress. It's got a sheared waist on the front. If I show you the line drawings, although there are line drawings on the front. So it's sheared on the front but plain on the back. And you do have the flutter sleeve or the normal sleeve. I went for the flutter sleeve for a change, because I haven't got anything like that. I don't usually like them, but I thought I'll have a go and see what it's like. Now, I made it in this, I've got this fabric in the First for Fabric sale. I've seen quite a few people, you have to excuse me, it's facings. I don't like facings in dresses. I tend to I want to put bias binding on, and I think if I do this dress again, I will definitely do that, because this facing drives me mad. So I made it in this lovely viscose with a little petal print. It's got a concealed zip in the back and the shirring. Now, I can't understand why some of my shirring, if you look at it, some of the shirring is quite good, and then I seem to have a gap in the middle that's not very good, and yet I did it all the same. But it'll do. It was the first time I've done shirring, so I thought, well, at least, you know, I've given it a go. It's got the flutter sleeves, and yeah, it's a nice tea dress. Bit of a rounded skirt on the bottom, or a bit of a fluted skirt, shall I say. And this dress comes in sizes 8 to 20, and it's good for beginners. An 8 is from a 35 bust up to a 47 bust, a 28 waist to a 40 waist, and 47 hips to 59 hips. So the only thing with this pattern is your fabric must be 60 wide because of the width of the skirt. It's quite an easy sew, as I say, it is for a beginner. The instructions were quite good. And it was actually because I saw the one on the front, I thought I'd buy this fabric because it's very similar, and I liked how it looked, so I thought, well, I'll buy that one because that one looks very similar, and we'll see how it goes. So that is the Amelia tea dress. I need to practice my shirring. I've seen Alison at Sew Like Dotty do shirring, and her shirring is to die for. She's an expert at it now, and I suppose you only get like that if you keep trying. So that is something I must try. Again, I shall put pictures in and you can see what it looks like on. But yeah, I enjoyed making that. That was, besides that sharing, it does happen to bring it in at the waist, so it fits quite nice. But yeah, it was a nice dress to make up. A bit slippery with the fabric being a viscose, but I did enjoy it. The next dresses, I've had wrap dresses in the past, but they've been more of a jersey so that they stretch. But I got this pattern free with the Sewing Magazine. And this is Simplicity K8637. This goes from a size 6 to a 24, which is a 32 to a 50 bust, so good, quite a good size range. You do get variations. You could do the maxi one that's just plain with no frill. You could do it with a dipped hem. You could do the full sleeves or no sleeves. So what I decided to do is I did it with the short sleeves, but in this version. So I did the frill around the bottom, but with only the short sleeves. Again, it's in a viscose. Weren't sure how it was going to fit. The bodice is lined on this one. It's a lot of gathering on it, and some of the pieces, when you see them and you lay them out, they go right round like a circle, and there is a lot of gathering in it. It is a nice style, and I decided to make it in this viscose. Oh. Just tie it back up. I don't usually have green in my wardrobe, so I thought I'd try it. And this is a nice little floral print, and it's got loads of colours in it. You've got peach, pink, dark pink, white, yellow, orange. So there's quite a lot of different colours in it. It has got bust darts and front darts and back darts. So there's plenty of darts in there to pull it in. It's quite a big frill that it has on. Got cotton hanging. And then the ties, it goes through and comes out at the side seam on one side, and then the other side is attached to the crossover, and it ties at the back. Mine's coming undone again. It is fully lined. I've lined it in white cotton because I thought that'd keep it cool. And it was quite a nice make. Did find I had a bit of difficulty. One time when I tried it on and I crossed it over, it fit nice. The next time it didn't fit so nice, and I couldn't understand why. But I have got it together, and the sleeves are not overly long. They're just quite a nice little sleeve. Would like to try and make one in a cotton, I think, if I do another one. There's, like I say, many varieties that you can do, versions you can do with it, because you could do it with the long sleeves, but the long version, perhaps for winter, if you've got something, a party or something like that you want to wear it to. So yeah, I think because it's got all the different versions. Like I say, you could do the maxi length but with the big puff sleeves, and then it also has the ones where you have your normal top but then you have a lace or a frill that comes round and attaches, which is quite a nice one. I'm not into the dipped hems, I just prefer normal hems, but anybody who wants something that you can make 2 or 3 versions and they all look different, it's an ideal pattern. And that's, as I say, is the Simplicity K8637. I bought some fabric from Minerva, and I thought I'm going to save that for something special because it wasn't a cheap fabric. And then again, looking on Pinterest, I come across the Lois dress by Tessuti Fabrics, and this is the Lois dress. It's slightly vintage, I think. It's not very size inclusive, it only comes 6 to 16, but I'm saying that when you make the pattern it's very oversized. So I decided to make this pattern, so I got my nice Minerva fabric out and cut it up, tried to put it together, and you could have got me, my husband and my daughter in it. It was massive. And because of the way that it's made, there's no way I couldn't sort of just take it in here and there, because they've got darts that you cut out. I'd already done that, so I couldn't move the darts, and the darts were sort of on my hip by the time I'd done, and even that was still too big. So that fabric has been put to one side, and hopefully I may be able to find something to make out of it later on, because of it being now cut into pieces and partly sewn up. But I love the style of the Lois dress. It is quite a low cut dress. You could put a modesty panel in if you want to. I haven't as yet. I've tried it on and I quite like it. I would like your comments on what you think, whether you think it's a bit too revealing for someone of my age. But I think the fabric that she's made that one on the front is absolutely stunning. And there's also another one that's made in a red linen. Both of them look absolutely stunning. But like I say, my problem was getting the size right. And because I've been losing weight, I'm trying to... I don't want to make them that I think are going to be too tight. Because now I'm almost at what I want to be. I don't want to lose any more weight. I'm happy as I am. And I hope people don't think I'm being vain because I've lost weight. The reason I've lost weight is we do have, or I do have, heart problems in the family. My mother died at 45 of a heart attack. And she was she was the same size as me, tall, height, but she was overweight, and the doctors said that you know, because she died, I have to be careful. So that is why I've lost weight. It's not a vanity thing, it's because, you know, there is the risk that I could have an heart attack if I get too overweight. And also my dad died of a stroke, so or my dad had strokes, so that is the reason I lost weight. But I'm now at this, I'm quite happy as I am. I'm hoping to stick to this, and so I thought I'd have another go at doing the Lois, but rather than spend expensive, instead of using an expensive fabric, I thought I'll use something I've got in my stash, and see how it turns out. Now my original size, I think, was, let's see if I can find it, because I always trace my patterns off. Size on that one. My original size was a 14, and then this one I've made in a 10. And there is a lot of sorry about the rustling. I'll leave it. There is a lot of on a lot of the seams and across the underbust, there is a lot of tear away stabilising, because I was making it as a wearable toil, you know what I mean. I decided not to do that. I just stay stitched instead, and instead of making the bias binding, because I was just using the fabric I'd got, I used, instead of making the bias binding out the fabric, I just used some bias binding I'd got. And this is the fabric that I decided to make it in. It is like royal blue viscose with orange, black and bright blue pattern on it. And what I did is I used a dark navy binding. Fits lovely, although I can get it on without having to, I haven't got the zip, because I mean I've seen a lot of people make it, and a lot of them have said that it doesn't need the zip. So I thought, well, seeing as it's a wearable toil, you know what I mean. I will make it without the zip and see how we go. So I've made it in a size 10 this time, and it's not too tight, but it's not overly sized. I can get it on without having to have a zip in it. It is a nice dress, it feels nice on, and I'm quite pleased with it, and I will make another one. The hardest part I find was trying to get the two bits of the bodice to line up together. I don't think you can see that. Let me put my hand on the inside, see if that'll show it up a bit better. You have to put them side by side like that, so that they're together. And because it's viscose, it gets sliding across, and so it took me a while, but I have got it in at the right place. I like the style. It's a bit vintage, but I like that. And it is one that's going to be going on holiday with me, I think, because I do like that. It's nice and airy, and I quite enjoyed making it the second time. Like I say, the first time it was just a nightmare. I just couldn't get my head around how it was supposed to go together, but the second time I was worried if I went down 2 sizes that I would be going down too far, but I could probably have gone down, if I wanted to put a zip in, I could probably go down another size and do it as an 8. But I think I prefer to do it like that and not bother with a zip, because the zip goes into the seat. The seat, it doesn't have side seams. It has panels, a big panel at the back that comes round, and then you have a panel at the front. But where the side seam of the bodice is, you have darts. If you see there, oh, it's hard to tell on this one. You have a dart that comes down, and that's where you put it. It's the side seam and that goes to a dart, and that's where you put the zip in, which I found very unusual, and it's one of those things that you think, oh, can't get my head around that. But as I say, I don't really need to do that. It does fit. It looks nice. I prefer to have it that little bit bigger than do a botched job on the zip. So yeah, so I'll probably stick to a size 10 and do a 10 next time as well, even if I do it in a cotton or a linen. So yeah, that was one that I've had the pattern for quite a while, and I just wanted to get my head around it to get the size right. I have seen many people say that they've made it, but it was just far too big. You measure yourself, you go by their sizes, you think it's going to fit, but in that case it didn't. It was really 2 sizes too big. So I was pleased when I managed to get it made up in a 10, and it fits nice. Again, I put photos in so you can see what it looks like. And as I say, I would like your opinion on whether you think it's a bit low, and whether I ought to put a modesty panel in. I feel all right in it, but you know, when I look down, what I see is different to what somebody else sees, so I would like your opinion on that. And lastly but not least is bring Dolly in. Can you see her? Oh yeah. I have kept her covered up because she's got this white dress on. Now this is a free pattern I got with a sewing magazine, and it's the McCall's M7948, and I love the version on the front. I thought that looked really nice. The only thing I weren't struck on is how long the sleeves were. So this pattern goes from a 6 to a 22, which is it tells you a 6 to a 22, and then it just tells you the finished garment measurements. A size 6 is a 35 bust, and a 22 is a 48.5-inch bust. The hips are a 58 on the 6 and a 71.5 on the 22. Now I made a size 8 in this, which is a 36 bust finish size. I didn't want it to be too baggy on the top. It's quite big on the bottom, so I didn't want it to be too big on the top. You can do it in different versions. I'm trying to get so you can see the pictures. So the top one is not a gathered skirt. No, the top two is not gathered skirt. Then you have the normal short sleeve one. Then you can have it with a little frill on it, and then there's the tiered one. You can have it sleeveless, or you can have it with these frilled sleeves. So what I actually did is I did the short sleeve, but with the short, you can have two different frills. There's a long frill and there's a shorter frill. So I went for the shorter frill. And if I just cross a bit and bring her in, because I made it in this Dobby fabric, I decided that I would line it. So it is fully lined in a muslin because I didn't want to show everybody what I've got. So the bodice part is fully lined. On the back it has a loop and button with a slit, and then you've got your two tiers for the dress. That's the first tier, and then you have a longer tier on the bottom. For the sleeves, I just did one layer for the top, but I double layered the frill at the bottom, and I'm really pleased with it. The only thing is I'm not used to things being oversized, which once you've got past the waist, I mean it's big on the top anyway, but then it's oversized all the way down. I do like it. I've tried it on. I do like it. I was in two minds whether to put some ties in to just sort of bring it in at the waist. It is an high waist, but for the moment I've decided to leave it. I think it looks nice as it is. Again, I've got some pictures. If you think it needs ties, please let me know. I'm one of those people who I look in the mirror and I can't make my mind up. I think, I like it, but do I need to do this, or shall I do that? So having a bit of advice from you people out there would be very good. It would help me to probably help to find my style. I've done lots of different styles, as you can tell. I've done the tea dress, the wrap over, this one which is more of a flare, the Lois dress which is a vintage type, and I'm not quite sure whether they all suit or whether some suit better than others. So I would like your opinion. There is different styles, different sleeves. I've always said I don't like 3/4 length sleeves, and I've made a couple of t-shirts with 3/4 length sleeves, and I'm getting quite used to them now. So you know, it's just habit. When you've spent years and years and years wearing the same old things over and over again, tops, jeans, tops, jeans, tops, jeans, vests in the summer when it's nice. I do like the summer. I do like the sun. I'm afraid I'm one of those people who suffer from SADS, you know, the seasonal dread when it's winter and you don't get enough sun. As soon as the sun comes out, I'm a different person. I love to be in the sun. It's sunny today, but it is quite cold. I'm not lying. It's still got a bit of a nip in the air. Can't wait for some warm, sunny weather. So yes. So any advice you could give me on any of the aspects of the dresses I've shown you would be appreciated. And if you've enjoyed my vlog, please like and subscribe. And one thing I would like to say, I know it's a bit late, but I hope you all had a lovely Easter. Weather-wise, wasn't overly thrilling, but I hope you made up in other ways and that you enjoyed yourself and you got plenty of sewing done, because I did. So I'll see you again soon, and take care. Thank you. Bye.